This is a battle. And I believe it was the Rome HQ tournament. Obelix sent it, and he said, well, I'm not going to say what he said, because that would ruin the entire thing. And I haven't watched it myself, so I don't want the entire thing to be ruined. We have Carthage versus Ardiaei, a decent matchup, I think. Late Libyan hoplites, Carthaginian hoplites, mercenary Skitarii, Libyan infantry, Libyan hoplites, mercenary Balearics. Always nice to see 3 mercenary Balearics and a mercenary Cretan. So against Obelix's army in particular, there are some juicy targets. There won't be that many good cavalry units to counter the skirmishers. We have Illyrian Thureos for Obelix, Illyrian hoplites, a bunch of Illyrian noble hoplites. They are going to prove a hard nut to crack, I think. 3 slave slingers. Then we have on the flanks Illyrian Thureos. So the spare line is Illyrian Thureos and Illyrian noble hoplites. Then we have supporting, we have the mercenary axe warriors, of course, together with mercenary Celtic. So this is a strong Ardiaei army. Strong versus Carthage. Carthage has 2 mercenary Skitarii, cavalry on the flanks there, and the noble cavalry shock. Decisive skirmish advantage here for Carthage. And I'd give the infantry advantage to Ardiaei. Because if these noble hoplites slam into the mercenary Skitarii and the Libyan infantry, we also have some mercenary noble fighters, 1 mercenary noble fighter, so not a lot of melee for Carthage. The mercenary noble fighters, very easy to deal with for Ardiaei really, especially when there's only 1 unit. And the rest of the infantry units for Carthage, they aren't that good. They need support against the Illyrian nobles. Now the slave slingers have started firing. They're firing on the mercenary Skitarii cav. Meanwhile, the mercenary Balearics are moving in, but they are blobbing up something fierce here. And the noble cavalry might take some fire as well. Obelix is moving back though, which wasn't the worst idea, because now precision shot, quick reload has died down. But the slave slingers against this mass of elite skirmishers, the slingers are not going to survive for long. So I don't really quite see why Obelix doesn't use some of his cheap units to just rush here, because Obelix has the ability to take Carthage head on and crush it. And look at this noble cavalry, just not caring that he's running into range of all these units. So he is taking fire, but only taking very light slave slinger fire at the moment. It could be worth it to get an Illyrian cavalry unit in here to chase away these units while the rest of the army pushes, because what's happened now is that there's a pretty substantial gap for Obelix. And the Carthaginian units are on a small hill now. I don't see why Obelix doesn't rush the hell out of this Carthaginian army, because he is at a severe skirmish disadvantage, and staying at range like this is a problem for him. Now, he's going to take fire on both his mercenary axe warriors and on his slave slingers here from these Balearics, and the Balearics are barely dropping. A lot of missiles incoming here. The axe warriors are starting to feel the pain. And staying at range like this doesn't provide Obelix with any advantages other than the potential of drawing out fire from these Balearics. But they do have a great position. They're standing on top of a hill here and firing down on the army of Obelix. So it looks like Carthage is going to be the faction to engage here. Let's see. Illyrian noble hoplites charging into mercenary noble fighters. Or did they even get the charge? Yeah, they got the charge. They're getting some killing done here. Losing decisively on the charge, of course, as would be expected against mercenary noble fighters. But very nicely done that. Lost quite a few mercenary Balearics here, actually. But the Illyrian nobles, yeah, they are going to crush Libyan infantry. The noble hoplites are not doing a horrible job here, actually, against the combat, even against the mercenary noble fighters. So the mercenary noble fighters, not that great compared to, say, Oathsworn. Now the second line mercenary axe warriors come in, and pulling out the Illyrian noble hoplites here is Obelix. Interesting that he's sending in his second line and pulling out his first line. That might be a very good thing to do for Obelix. other than the fact that he's exposing his backs to the Carthaginian skirmish. Now the noble cavalry here has done a lot of damage to the mercenary Celts on the flanks. Illyrian noble hoplites should have no problems with late Libyans and Carthaginians, even if they don't get the charge on them. Let's see, the Libyan infantry being charged by Illyrian cavalry, but the Illyrian Theraeus are showering with javelins here, and the Illyrian cavalry are losing a lot more men than they need to lose here. And these skirmishers are racking up the kills. But here you see it very nicely done with the mercenary axe, but I don't think the mercenary axe is going to be able to. That's the problem. They're not going to be able to grind down the mercenary nobles, and they would be able to if the hoplites were kept in there. This could mean that the mercenary nobles get a second charge on the Illyrian noble hoplites, but of course the Illyrian noble hoplites are also going to be able to get a second charge. Illyrian Theraeus firing down here on these heavily armored units. Not going to do too much here. Mercenary Skitari is a decent choice, because this mercenary Celtic warrior is getting slaughtered, so firing into the mercenary Skitari could be nice if they indeed have ammunition left. Mercenary Skitari swinging wide around the flanks. Now it would be nice if these Illyrian Theraeus had more javelins. Mercenary noble fighters, now the Illyrian noble hoplites, the second charge is happening, going into headhunt the mercenary noble fighters, and it seems like pulling out the units. Now he's doing it again here. He's pulling out the mercenary axe warriors and sending in the Illyrian noble hoplites. Now I think keeping both units in the fight would have done two things. It would have kept them from moving with their backs, like they're moving with their backs to the enemy here and taking a lot of damage. And I think he would have already won if he had kept his units in the fight here. I'm fairly certain of that he would have already won. It was an interesting piece of strategy there from or tactic from Obelix. But now his lack of cavalry is starting to make itself felt. The mercenary Skitari, they're going to be able to mop up a few units here, and rare charges in these engagements are going to hurt a lot. Carthaginian noble Cav doing a bit of damage, getting hit by some precursors, but he's fine for the time being. The Illyrian noble hoplites are doing weird stuff now. I think they're trying to disengage from the phalanx. So not a bad move there if they can get a second charge in on the phalanx. The mercenary Skitari getting smashed now by a bunch of units. So the Illyrian hoplites need to get a nice charge in here, because both the Ardiaei center and the Carthaginian center is very, very shaky at the moment. There are all these Carthaginian skirmishers in the back. The mercenary Skitari cavalry is exhausted because it's used frenzied charge and because it moved all the way around the flank here. The Cretans out of ammunition, it seems. I think the Balearics... Let's see, yeah, the Cretans are out of ammunition. The Balearics seems... Yeah, they have ammunition left. That's the advantage of slingers in a long, drawn-out game. The Illyrian hoplites standing here with their backs to the Carthaginian hoplites, so whoever gets the charge here is going to have a massive advantage. Another rear charge here from the mercenary Skitari against the Illyrian nobles. Noble Cav chasing after a unit of Illyrian Cav. Looks like it's turning. But no, attacked and it's getting smashed. Won't be able to kill the Carthaginian general. No chance whatsoever. Late Libyan hoplites holding here against Illyrian hoplites. Illyrian hoplites not that good in extended melee. Mercenary Celts against shield-walled Libyan infantry, getting the attack in the rear penalty, which they don't like much. And finally these two units are starting to engage, but the Illyrian hoplites are chasing after the Carthaginian hoplites. Carthaginian hoplites trying to get closer to their friends here. Now the mercenary Skitari taking care of the axe warriors. So now the Carthaginian hoplites move into phalanx, but they're not getting a charge, whereas the Illyrian hoplites are getting a charge. But here comes the mercenary Skitari cavalry. They could get a very nice rear charge here on the Illyrian hoplites before the Illyrian Theraeus are able to support. Let's see here. Might be enough to put the Illyrian noble hoplites in trouble. No, not yet. Only medium melee cavalry versus very heavy spears. So the Illyrian Theraeus moving in now to try and get rid of the mercenary Skitari, and mercenary Skitari wavering already. Illyrian Thureos chasing away the Balearics, the Cretans joining the fight here. Let's see, Illyrian Noble. They could get some kills here by attacking in the rear. Here comes the Carthaginian general, ready for some rear charging action. He's very tired, so he's going to be slow. He's going to be slow to disengage. Let's see if he can get some kills here with this 63 charge bonus. Using Rally to keep his units in the fight for a bit longer. He didn't get the best of charges here. Did knock down quite a few units, but not the most damaging charge in terms of kills. Got a few kills. And the Illyrian Thureos are being very useful now. Just getting these units off the field is quite important at this point. But being smart in splitting the units and sacrificing the most damaged units here to get the other one away. Now the Libyan hoplites fighting against the Illyrian nobles of all things. They should lose that decisively. So the Illyrian hoplites now losing, not in phalanx against the Carthaginian hoplites, so won't expect them to do too well there. The Illyrian hoplites attacked in the rear from the Scutari cavalry, and the Libyan infantry holding well against Illyrian hoplites. But getting the Carthaginian general off the field would be immense for Obelix and his Ardiaei at the moment. A good job being done though by cycle charging into the back of units. So yeah, getting that engagement wrapped up, very important before the Illyrian Thureos come in to join the fight. Mercenary Scutari cavalry is popping frenzy. It is going to get charged here. It is probably going to lose a few men. But it seems like most of the unit didn't actually lose a single man here, so the unit is safe. Illyrian Hobo charging in, trying to get more some Scutari cavalry off the field here. The Carthaginian general is, wow, he's dying quickly now. Exhausted, very slow. And the Illyrian noble hoplite general for Obelix is holding and beasting it out. Carthaginian hoplites could break once the raise banner effect, yeah, starting to waver at least when the banner is down. Another rear charge from the mercenary Scutari cavalry, but nope, the Illyrian noble hoplites turn around. Or in phalanx should kill the mercenary Scutari cavalry relatively quickly. They might not even be able to disengage properly here because they are so they are very slow. Might save the unit, just nope, the unit chatters. And Balearics routing now, so the Illyrian Thureos going to wrap it up, get the Balearics off the field. Illyrian noble, 200 kills, very, very nice. They usually carry the day for Ardiaei in these battles with their armor melee attack and 30 weapon damage. 30 charge is also a decent charge bonus for a spare unit. So at this point it looks like Carthage is in deep shit. Still with the rear charges though, with the Scutari, mercenary Scutari, now getting quite a few kills on these depleted units. And these are kills on Illyrian noble hoplites, so getting very important kills here. But there are a lot of Illyrian noble hoplites, and that's what you'll usually see in these battles, is that the Illyrian noble hoplites just keep tanking out cavalry charge after cavalry charge. They go into melee engagement after melee engagement, and they just kill shit. So the noble Cav Carthaginian general dies, and that's going to be it for Carthage. Libyan infantry still holding on, the mercenary Scutari cavalry still holding on. So this is a very, very close game, but the Ardiaei general, 116 men remaining, 89 men remaining here, Illyrian nobles remaining here, and the Illyrian Thureos left over here. So there's just, Carthage just cannot compete at this point. Taking the engagement here like a pro. The Libyan infantry is going to just get slaughtered on the charge here. battle rhythm even being popped for the Illyrian Noble Hoplites. So it's just going to end the unit much quicker. With battle rhythm, the Illyrian Noble Hoplites basically become a sword unit with very good armor penetration. So yeah, the Ardiaei beating Carthage, and it's all down to the Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Some of the axes do well, some of the Illyrian Hoplites do well because they were fighting up against the Libyan Hoplites, but look at the slinger and the skirmish kills here, just massive kills. Cavalry was used well, the mercenary noble fighters did a decent enough job, but it comes down to what it usually comes down to in battles in Ardiaei versus anything. There was, especially with these rules, because of course under when melee units are limited, whereas spear units are less limited, then that makes Ardiaei shine. So it's just damn hard to compete with a lot of Illyrian Noble Hoplites with Celtic Warrior and Axe Warrior support. But Unicorn Nimator did a decent job, I think, and it was interesting seeing Obelix sending in the infantry and then pulling it out. I don't know whether it was more effective in this case than just leaving the infantry in, because I think the combination Illyrian Noble and Mercenary Axe would have killed off the Mercenary Noble fighters quicker than pulling out the Illyrian Noble Hoplites. But it ended up working for him in a very close and very enjoyable game. So thanks to Obelix for that one. Strength and honor.